Kind-hearted English viewers, subscribe, like and share my revenge tales. Your small kindness fuels justice. Today's story is messy, loud and very satisfying. I caught an ex cheating, mailed the proof to the people who least expected it, and watched the fallout from the best seat in the house. Grab something to drink. This one's a slow burn masterpiece. Most of the time when you catch a cheater, you don't get a front row seat to the drama that follows. Lucky me, I did. He was in the army, deployed, and thinking he was clever. I had our messages, our calls, every breadcrumb. So I printed them, I mailed them, and I sat back while his life unspooled. Want to know exactly how I did it? Let's go. If you love justice served cold, hit like and subscribe, and tell me in the comments, would you have mailed the proof, posted it, or confronted him face to face? I want to hear your take. Now, the story. I need you to picture it. Small town, predictable routines, everyone thinking they know everyone else's business. My ex, call him Darren, was the kind of guy who wore his uniform with a swagger. He enlisted young, did well, and when he told people he was steady, they believed him. We had dated seriously once and broken up. Life moved on. Or so I thought. Then, months later, he started messaging me again. Not casual, flirtatious, personal. Late-night check-ins about training, rambling about missing home, cute little wish you were here lines. For reasons that make no sense in hindsight, I let it happen. It felt like being wanted again, a dangerous, intoxicating feeling. We talked for months, calls, emails, texts. The tone was domestic at times. We talked like people getting back together. I knew his routines, his humour, his way of signing off. I also had access, because he'd used my laptop before and left a browser logged in. Old mistake. That mistake is what gave me the receipts. One afternoon when I swung by his mum's house, purely to drop a polite gift because I was on okay terms with her, I noticed a new car in the driveway. A bridesmaidish note scrolled across my mind, but I shrugged it off. People get married, move on, call it progress. I left the gift on the porch and went home. A couple days later, a letter arrived, angry, short, and brutal. Darren's mum had written me to say I was causing trouble, and had called me a whore, the old sort of moral outrage that hurts more when it's absurd. She accused me of sleeping with her son before marriage. The thing is, he never mentioned a wife. He never said he'd been seeing anyone. I felt the rug pulled from under me. When I asked him, crickets. I knew something was off, but I didn't yet know how delicious this would get. That new car gnawed at me. A few days later, I drove by and saw "Just Married" written across the back window, glitter pens and all. The sticker was an announcement in broad daylight. He wasn't just seeing someone. He'd been married. Apparently, the new wife was living at his mum's place. That's when a plan began to shape itself. Not about revenge the way people imagine, not about shouting in a bar or smashing plates, but about exposure. The kind of exposure you can't fix with a tidy apology. I'd made the rookie mistake of allowing my access to his email on my laptop. Back then, security wasn't as tight, and he'd left his session open. I logged in and found what all cheaters forget. The trail. Messages, call logs, late-night planning, flirtatious emails. The proof was there, unsent and unprotected. I printed everything. Prints were important. Digital files can be dismissed as fabricated, but stacks of paper, highlighted lines, timestamps and phone records, those are tactile. They make people squirm. I included everything. Screenshots, PDFs, call logs, dates, times, the exact phrases he'd used. I didn't embellish. I didn't editorialize. Facts are surgical. Lies are messy. I kept it surgical. Next bit of theatre. I didn't know his mother's full name, and I didn't want to get dragged into an online shouting match. I wanted the people closest to him, the ones who would read my words and feel their world tilt, to have the receipts, cold and undeniable. So I decided to mail them. One envelope to his new wife, one to his mother, and a final tiny email to Darren himself. "You're dead to me." Short, clinical, perfect for the drama meter. And because I wanted them to open it, to make sure the new wife read the proof right away, I sent the letters requiring a signature. That way, I'd have confirmation they received them. I'm not proud of the thrill that gave me, but you'll understand. This wasn't about humiliation for humiliation's sake. It was about exposing hypocrisy, the kind of moral sanctimony Darren's mum served up in her letter, and giving the wife the truth before Darren could spin it. The plan was 3 steps. Print all messages, emails, and call logs. Highlight the lines that matter. Make a neat stack, labelled by date. Attach a brief cover note explaining what the documents are. Mail the packets as registered post to ensure the recipients received them and to get that delivery confirmation. Not to revel in pain, but to hold him accountable and to let his own apologetic scrambling be seen. I wanted the truth to be the first thing his wife heard, not his excuses. I kept everything tight. No social posts, no leaking, no anonymous tip-offs, just paper, mailed, and the delicious certainty of postman red stamps. I mailed the packets and sat back. We've all done the thing where we press send and immediately regret it, but not this time. This time I felt a calm I hadn't felt in months. Within days, I started to see movement. The wife received her packet and, according to the read receipts I'd arranged, she opened it. Then the fun began. Her reaction wasn't cinematic at first. It was raw and immediate behind the scenes. While they were on their honeymoon, yes, they were literally honeymooning, she apparently found that he had sneaked away to get ice and instead called me. The call logs I'd included showed it. The call time stamp mid-honeymoon, the messages back and forth. The bravery of that moment, someone confronting their new spouse with proof, I can't explain, but it was happening. Then the emails started. The wife tore into him. The mother arrived to the scene, furious in a letter to me. Her letter had been venomous, calling me names, but through the post I saw her other side. She was also angry with her son. The irony of her shotgun wedding past hit me like a drum. Public outrage meets private hypocrisy, and the drummer keeps the beat. Darren tried to scramble. He sent emails, then phone calls, then long apologies. But once the paper is read, once the facts are held in someone's hand, spinning becomes hard. My role then was passive. I watched. I monitored his account. Not proud of that, but we're in the territory of human flaws now. And I watched him sit in his barracks, cigarette-less maybe, emails unsent and phone calls that couldn't fix what the post had done. It went on for months. He wrote, pleaded, tried to rewrite history in messages that only made him look smaller. The wife, the mother, the receipts, they were a chorus that drowned out his explanations. That's the thing about truth in print. It has a voice that doesn't beg. The most satisfying moment wasn't public spectacle. It was watching the order of someone's life reorient. It was the wife's messages, cold, decisive, telling him things that left no room for salvage. It was the mother, who had once scolded me, now demanding answers from her son. It was the stack of documents in an envelope that landed like a verdict. If there's a satisfying image, it's this. While he was thousands of miles away in uniform, the glue holding his life together back home, the carefully curated version of him, dissolved with a few sheets of A4. The letters and records didn't scream. They simply replaced his denials with an unhelpful clarity. He had been doing this. He had been telling me things that didn't match his public life, and he couldn't talk his way out of the paper. I watched his tone change from arrogance to pleading. The man who had been steady, sure, and entitled suddenly sounded fragile and small in emails. That shift, from confident to penitent, was the whole point. Not cruelty, but consequence. Did they divorce? I don't know, and I don't need to. Life reshuffles itself after things like this. The new wife had the dignity of knowing the truth and acting. The mother had to face that her son was not who she thought he was. Darren got to sit with the consequence of his choices, away from the easy face of denial. For me, there were complicated feelings. Satisfaction, yes. Regret in places too. The thrill of exposure sits next to a more somber sense that relationships are messy and people hurt each other in ways that don't always have a tidy end. But I'd be lying if I said I didn't enjoy watching accountability arrive in the mail. The lesson? If you're going to cheat, expect that your digital crumbs will become paper arrows. And for anyone thinking about dragging someone else's name through mud, remember that truth, once printed, is stubborn. Revenge isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it's quiet and methodical, facts, patience, and timing. I didn't smash windows or yell in public. I mailed truth, and watching a lie unravel from the inside, that felt like justice. If you loved this one, hit the like button and subscribe. I've got more stories where truth met consequences. What would you have done in my shoes? Mailed the evidence, confronted him, or walked away? Tell me in the comments below. Share this with someone who needs a little reminder. Honesty eventually shows up.